Okay, so this is what a civilian can do in Czech Republic. Okay, this is really interesting. Ciao a tutti e benvenuti alla seconda parte del video sulle armi in Repubblica Ceca. Come ho detto nel primo video, in Repubblica Ceca è possibile girare armati dall'età di 21 anni se si è in grado di superare un esame. Ho deciso quindi di andare a Praga e capire meglio come funziona questo sistema. Nel primo video ho deciso di intervistare delle persone che hanno deciso di girare armati. Nel secondo video invece voglio una risposta a queste domande. Come funziona la legge in Repubblica Ceca? Quali armi si possono usare e come si devono portare? Inoltre, come mai la Repubblica Ceca ha questo diritto, che non è affatto comune negli altri paesi europei? La prima persona che intervisto si chiama Alex, è un poliziotto che ha lavorato per anni producendo e vendendo armi, è quindi una persona molto esperta in questo campo.
And manufacturers. Here, a civilian applies for a permit. You must have a clean record, you must be healthy, you must pass an examination and a practical test and a shooting test. Then you get this permit from the police and you can acquire a firearm. And after you purchase it, you have to register it. You register it at the local police, and basically after that you can carry it on you. According to the Czech laws, you can carry up to 2 firearms concealed.
It's only guns or also rifles?
Well, here the law is not specifying. It's not specifying whether it is a long or a short firearm. Basically, anything you can conceal in a proper way can be carried. Hypothetically, you can carry a short rifle if it's well concealed, and then it is according to the law okay.
And this is something I heard. So here you can also bring a knife around?
Yes, there is no limitation so far on any knives. It is a common thing in Czech Republic to carry a pocket knife. You can carry a pocket knife, you can carry a fixed blade knife, no limitations so far.
But when the law allows you to use it?
There are specifically specified situations when the law allows to use the firearm. It must be the defense mechanism of the last resort, when everything else has failed or when there is no other chance, no other possibility. It is the protection of life. Protection of life, health and property, in this order. Okay, of course, it is a very hard situation to judge because usually these incidents take seconds or split seconds, and the firearms owner has to make his decision also knowing that there will be investigation, and in case he exceeds his rights, he uses excessive force in an inadequate situation, he might face charges.
In most of Europe it's not so easy or common to bring a weapon around. People usually say, I don't need it because if something happens I can call the police. Why you think is not enough?
Okay, since I work in the law enforcement, I know that police and law enforcement are not Superman. They cannot be everywhere. Their job is hard and deserves respect, but they have their limitations. The other thing is these people are usually issued standard weapons by the government, and the training is paid by the government, and in many cases also the media tries to portray them as like some special forces. Most of the law enforcement members, their training is less than what I get as a civilian.
So technically it's safer to have some civilians with weapons around you than police?
In some cases I think that many civilians I know have better training than the law enforcement. It is a sad fact, but this is what happens when you're in a state-owned company.
But so I mean, because in Prague there are many tourists. Tourists probably don't know, but technically, I don't know, their guide, the pub owner, the restaurant waiter, the people that they meet as a tourist could have a weapon.
There is a big possibility that they have. Especially people who own businesses, they often have a firearm because businesses are often target of burglaries.
Avendo scoperto questa sorprendente verità, molto poco conosciuta a tutti i turisti di Praga, chiedo ad Ales di mostrarmi le pistole che sono più comunemente usate in Repubblica Ceca.
The most common weapons in Czech Republic are weapons by Czechs arm manufacturer, the CZ, and Glock, which is an Austrian company. This pistol is very common among gun users and law enforcement. This is a Glock 19, which is a compact pistol, but it's still a full-size pistol which has a thick magazine, which involves two double stack, which means the ammunition there is stacked beside each other, which allows bigger capacity, but the concealment is worse because the firearm is thicker. Okay, I'll place it here. And then there are micro compact, or sometimes they call them slim firearms, which are firearms that basically have the same type of ammunition, same caliber as full-size pistols, but their magazines are slimmer, with less capacity. They're so-called single stack, which means there is only one line of ammunition above each other. You can carry it in the outside waistband holster or inside waistband holster.
Can I see?
I'll show you on this pistol, which I carry the most of the time when I carry. This is the inside waistband holster, which allows you to tuck the firearm behind your belt. Okay, so I place the firearm in the holster. Okay, it's ready to carry, so it's loaded. Now I loosen the belt a little bit so that I can fit it in here, and I place the firearm inside the pants. The clip goes over the belt, then you fasten your belt, and the firearm is inside your pants, so nothing sticks out from under the belt. And when you put your garments over it, basically the weapon is concealed. There are different ways of carrying a firearm. You can carry it loaded with a magazine loaded, but no round in the chamber. And you can carry it loaded with a magazine and a round in a chamber. Now,
So you can do it chambered?
yes, you can do chambered.
With, you mean with a bullet inside?
Yes, which means that the round is in the chamber. So all you have to do when you unholster a pistol in a situation like a self-defense situation, you just unholster, you point, and you pull the trigger. Okay.
Take out the safety maybe.
Some guns have automatical safety. Some guns have safety which you have to disengage manually. Modern guns today tend to use as little controls as possible. The safeties here, though, are very thorough, even though you don't see them. One of the safety is this small tongue sticking out of the trigger. The trigger is cocked. So if I pull it properly, it will hit the striker will hit the primer and the bullet will discharge. But if I don't hit the trigger with my full finger, it doesn't work. There is this little tongue I have to press, and now if I press it properly with my full finger, I'm pointing in safe direction, so nothing will happen. The firearm has discharge.
Parlando di fondine, mi è venuto in mente che nei vecchi film di James Bond la pistola veniva portata sotto l'ascella. È ancora così?
These holsters are very outdated. They are not used anymore. Very few people use them. They're more of a 70s, 80s thing. The problem with such a holster is that when you are drawing your weapon from there, at some point you are pointing your weapon at everybody behind you. Because if I will get this weapon clear. So hypothetically my weapon is like that. If I want to draw it, I won't be drawing it like this. So the point is, I'll be drawing it like this and outside. And if I'm pointing at that target, so now I have pointed my weapon behind me, and now I have tagged everybody around me with that weapon. So everybody who's standing in this sector has been facing the muzzle of the weapon. So the best way to carry is on the waist, and when you point you draw your weapon, you only point at the ground and towards the target. So it's the safest way of carrying and drawing and pointing a weapon.
Purtroppo James Bond usava un metodo sbagliato. Dopo questa triste notizia, voglio sapere come mai in Repubblica Ceca esiste il diritto di girare armati. È dovuto alla cultura? Alla storia? Lo chiedo a Lance, un informatico appassionato di armi, l'unico che ho incontrato che per difesa personale ha una pistola italiana, una Beretta. Il modello è...
Yeah, this is a Beretta 92.
Okay.
This is the model SB. I am somewhat of a collector, so this one is fairly interesting because it's actual Italian firearm from the military. You can see the military acceptance mark here on the trigger guard.
Okay.
So it was handed to the Italian military in 1986.
Okay. And why you think the Czech Republic is so has this situation that it doesn't exist in other European countries? It's something cultural, historical.
Maybe because the Czech firearms history goes all the way back to the Hussit rebellions, which are 15th century, 16th century, something like that. I don't remember exactly, but it's one of the first large-scale uprisings and wars that were fought with firearms in Europe. So a lot of, for example, firearms terminology is actually derived from the what were names of some firearms they were using. For example, pistol is probably used from the Czech word pištěla, which was a type of firearm, aside of being a word for flute. It's a type of firearm that was used during the Hussit rebellion times.
Okay.
Every major war, every major conflict that swept through Europe usually came through here. The Napoleonic War, the Second World War. The exempt would be the First World War, but we were in the Austria-Hungary and we sent our guys to the front, so there was this experience that not swept the land, but they were guys who were taken and they were returned after seeing the horror of First World War. So yeah, there is like a lot of history when Czech people were used and abused, and I think it goes with some sort of mentality of not anymore. We don't really want to go through this. We went through many occupations during the Second World War, during the Soviet era, 1968. We were attacked by our supposed allies and occupied until 1989.
So maybe also you want to have weapons because so it's safer if there is an attack from another state, maybe?
Possible. The Swiss are doing it and it works pretty good for them.
La difesa da un governo illegittimo, da una dittatura, è una delle giustificazioni che mi sono sentito dire più spesso da coloro che difendono il diritto ad essere armati. Una popolazione armata non sarebbe facile da sottomettere. Qualcuno potrebbe facilmente obiettare che delle pistole non bastano per difendersi da uno stato nemico o da una dittatura. La Repubblica Ceca si preoccupa anche di questo e da qualche mese ha iniziato a creare quella che io definirei una milizia. Teresa, che abbiamo incontrato nel primo video, ne fa parte. Le ho chiesto di mostrarmi il suo arsenale e di spiegarmi a cosa serve questa milizia.
So this is the 9mm.
Ah, ok.
This is for short. Yes.
Lot.
And there are the long gun,
Ok.
223.
Okay,
So-
you can just bring in the car like this.
Okay. This is my
Arsenal.
training stuff. Yes, this is the long one. It's the nail defense, so that's my favorite. My protect vest.
Ah, ok.
There, everything is in ballistic
Ah, ok.
protector, so you can see the magazine for the long gun,
Ok.
the magazine for the short gun as well.
Okay. But obviously you can wear these only in the shooting range, right?
Yes, yes. So this is the belt.
Ah, is another one.
This is a Glock.
Okay.
There is a light as well.
Why they want their people to be so well armed and prepared?
I think it helps the situation on Ukraine as well. So it's, I think, for me, it's a huge step, be backup for my land, and I'm very proud of that.
Okay, so it's for war. I mean, they do it because in the case of war, people.
Where will be here any bad situation, some bad guys will take the stuff from the shops, you know, and there will be a really dangerous situation, then call me, because there is a list of the people which are in the program, and they, okay, Teresa, can you help us? There is a policeman, so this is your chief, and this is like I am getting ready for my training, for my shooting training, or for my close quarter battle, which is CQB. It's a special training for cleaning or building. This is my ballistic vest as well. So you can try, it's heavy.
Yeah, it's very heavy.
It's so that's why you have to train your physical condition as well. So this is my complete gear. This is for night vision. So this is complete.
Okay.
If I will turn off the lights and I will have a vision, I can see everything. So this is
like a special force.
Yes, this is my training stuff.
Okay, so this is what a civilian can do in Czech Republic. Okay, this is really interesting. Intervistare queste persone mi ha fatto pensare. Fortunatamente in Italia viviamo in un paese dove diamo un valore altissimo alla vita, al contrario di altri paesi. Siamo così pronti a difendere la vita che qualsiasi cosa che potrebbe danneggiare la salute di una persona è vista con orrore. Per questo rendiamo praticamente impossibile girare armati legalmente. La realtà è che purtroppo in ogni paese, anche i più sicuri, c'è sempre qualcuno che non condivide l'importanza che noi diamo alla vita umana e che è pronto a ferire, stuprare e persino uccidere altri esseri umani. Quando queste persone commettono atti violenti, non possono essere sempre raggiunte in tempi brevi dalla polizia, altrimenti non esisterebbero crimini in Italia. Così come le leggi contro la droga non servono a fermare il traffico e il consumo di droga, così le leggi sulle armi non possono fare nulla contro chi non vuole rispettare la legge. Le leggi contro le armi ci rassicurano, ma è una rassicurazione finta, perché impediscono l'acquisto di armi solo alle persone oneste. Ovviamente chi non vuole rispettare la legge non si fa certo problemi a comprare un'arma illegalmente. Come dimostra la Repubblica Ceca, esiste un metodo sicuro per garantire il possesso di armi dei cittadini. Le statistiche sulla sicurezza, infatti, sono molto buone. I furti sono meno che in Italia, Germania o addirittura la Svezia. La percentuale di omicidi è simile a quella dei paesi confinanti e minore della Germania, del Portogallo, della Danimarca e della maggior parte in realtà dei paesi occidentali. Può sembrare barbarico dover usare le armi per difendersi. Nel terzo millennio, nelle società civili, non dovremmo essere costretti a difenderci da soli. Ma è più barbarico difenderci da soli o non poterci difendere affatto? Spero che questo video vi abbia fatto pensare. Fatemi sapere cosa ne pensate nei commenti e arrivederci al prossimo video.
This is the freedom.
Yeah.
It's a part of the freedom. Only government that trusts its people and think it can be trusted by people allow or don't ban people from having guns.